Red Zone Sports Ante. Wham, bam, thank you, Uncle Sam.
Hi there and welcome along to week 12 of Upping The Ante in association with RedZone.bet with myself, David Jennings, and Gavin Lynch. We're here to talk all things Cheltenham. And Gavin, 3 weeks tomorrow, the 2019 Cheltenham Festival is going to kick off. This time last week we were wondering would it go ahead at all?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we've got a whole glutton of racing we had over the weekend.
It was like there was nothing wrong. Saturday in Ascot was amazing. It was as good as Cheltenham. Some of the performances on Saturday were incredible. So yeah, it's great to have racing back and it's full steam ahead for Cheltenham.
So we're going to start off with the week that was. We've got a jam-packed show. We've got Gavin's next 5 stats to remember from the last 6 Cheltenham festivals. We've got our next anti-post tips for the Cheltenham Festival. So there's plenty to keep you occupied for the next 25 minutes or so. But Gavin, the week that was, only one place to start. That was at Ascot on Saturday.
Yep.
And Clan des Obo. What a performance.
A fantastic performance to beat Terrafort by 11 lengths. You have to remember he's only 7. And it's hard to believe that he ended up 6th in the Triumph Hurdle a few years ago.
What a triumph that was.
Yeah.
Apple's Shade was in it.
Ivanovic Gorbatov, wasn't it?
Frodon was in it.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a race.
But you'd have to say Clan des Obo probably deserves to be favourite.
Wow, really? For the Gold Cup?
Yeah, well, he's joint
We're
favourite.
going to have a look at the prices now at the moment. Clan des Obo currently is second favourite in the market behind Presenting Percy. 9-2 at RedZone.bet, 3-1 Presenting Percy. 5-1 last year's winner, Native River. Kenboy 8-1, Might Bite 11-1, 12-1 Bar. You think he should be favourite?
I think he should. Well, they're joint favourite on the exchanges at the moment, which is always a good place to start. Don't mind them bookie chappies going 3-1 Presenting Percy. They're just not brave enough. Like Presenting Percy, 1 run over hurdles. Is he going to run in the Bobby Joe this weekend? If he doesn't, like there's a trainer's manual and there's the Pat Kelly trainer's manual. He just gets the other one and throws it out the window.
Yeah.
But Clan des Obo, I suppose people were a bit sceptical after Kempton. Is he that good or was it a one-off? But we've seen on Saturday that it's not a one-off. His jumping is incredible.
And you're not convinced by Presenting Percy?
I am, sure. I love him.
I
love him, but there's no way Presenting Percy will go off 3-1 on the day.
Well, it's funny, I was talking to Pat Kelly on the phone last night and he said that the horse will probably run on Saturday. No, I wasn't. That's a lie. He doesn't talk to journalists.
No.
If you're watching Pat, give me a call, 086. I'll give you the number at the end of the show. But 3-1 Presenting Percy, 9-2 Clan des Obo. There's been obviously big movement in that market, but even bigger movement in the Ryanair market because we've seen 2 top-class performances by Monolly and Surname, who I think at the moment, is he officially the highest rated chaser in training?
Well, he got a rating, I think, from the Racing Post boys of 181 on Saturday, and there's no doubt you have Apple's Jade and you have Altior this season, but that was the best performance seen this season, no doubt. To beat those
Fluke
horses, well, I don't think so. Like it had won previously very easy at Ascot. It won by 17 lengths from Waiting Patiently, Fox Norton and Politolog. They're all rated 160 odd and 170. So he deserved his rating of 181, so it's definitely the best performance of the season. The only thing is, this is a Cheltenham preview, and he's probably not going to Cheltenham.
Okay, so forget about him.
Well, you might see him in Punchestown, which would be a great spectacle.
Yeah, and his jumping was terrific.
It was.
Monolly, who I criticised for being a bit of a soft finisher. There was nothing soft about his finish on Saturday. Annabelle Fly obviously ran a cracker as well, but 9-2 at the moment, Monolly. 5-2 Main. 5-1 Waiting Patiently, 5-1 Footpad, 5-1 on the So, 7-1 Bar. Are you a Monolly fan, Gavin?
Not particularly.
I'm the same. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
I can't put my finger on it, but I just think
yeah.
he'll run all right.
I kind of crib him and I can't really quantify it either. He gave £7 to Annabelle Fly, by the way, who ran a cracker as a prep for Cheltenham with the Gold Cup. He ran so well in it last year. If Monolly goes in the Gold Cup, he has no chance of staying, I think. They're still debating 50-50, but if he goes here, I could see him being placed in the Ryanair, but I just can't see him winning it.
Okay, so we're not big Monolly fans here on
so.
Up in the Ante. And then, Gavin, Tiger Roll. 25-1. Did you even see that coming? You sleeps the horse every night. Did you see that coming? 2
of my favourite horses ran against each other in Navan on Sunday. Tiger Roll and Off You Go, and of course I backed Off You Go. But Tiger Roll, like afterwards Gordon Elliott said it was 75% fit. Even if that is probably slightly, too low, I'm sure he was probably only 90% fit.
Yeah.
But I think he'll win the cross country, and I'm definitely going to back him for the Entry Grand National. Yeah. He won it last year off 150. He's going to carry 159 this year, so he's going to be very close to top weight. But one of the top weights, Many Clouds, won it in 2015. So I can see him becoming the first horse since Red Rum to win 2 nationals in a row. 74 was the last time it happened.
Now, we're going to talk more about Tiger Roll later in the show. We've got a few questions from the crowd about Tiger Roll.
Very good.
They seem to associate you with Tiger Roll a lot, Gavin, yeah?
Well, I love him, yeah. He's a legend of a horse, isn't he?
He certainly is. And Al Dancer is the new supreme favourite with a cracking performance in the Betfair Hurdle, similar to what My Tent of Yours did in the race a couple of years ago. He's now 7-2 at redzone.bet for the Supreme Novice Hurdle. Fakir Dudare 5-1, Angel's Breath 11-2, 8-1 Classical Dream, 11-1 Mr. Fisher and Aramon, and 12-1 Barry. Is he the right favourite?
He has to be, yeah. He's 4 from 4 over hurdles. He bolted up in Cheltenham there in December of 129. The other day in the Betfair Hurdle, low 140s, and I'd say he drifted in the exchanges after half mile because he ran very, very keen, very free, but he still bolted up. So yeah, he looks a very, very good horse.
And at the moment, is he the most likely winner?
I've backed Fakir Dudary since Saturday at a small each way bet on Al Dancer just to save my bet because I think it's maybe between the two of them. You don't agree, but
have you got Mr. Fisher and anything?
No,
you regret that?
No, I can't have him. But Al Dancer, the old course will really suit him. You know the way it's a bit tighter than the new course. They swing in, you jump one hurdle. That'll really suit a horse to travel as well. Yeah, and he does travel great, so he does. Now, we had a whole host of racing over the weekend. Anything else catch you all right? I'll just go down through the week that was. We had no race in England Monday, Tuesday. And Thursday in Clonmel, a horse called Allaho. Did you see him?
Yes.
It's only his third race course start. He was very impressive. He might go for a Ballymore or a Bartlett. In Kelso, we had a horse, We Have a Dream. He probably won't win at Cheltenham, but he might end up in a handicap. He won. Definitely Red got beat 1-6 in a 2-horse race by Captain Redbeard. And Shantou Flyer, who was a decent horse once upon a time, he won a Hunter's Chase by 7 lengths, so he might go to the Fox Hunters. Friday, did you see Glenn Forza beat Kalashnikov?
Wow.
Yeah, that was some performance.
Couldn't see Kalashnikov win an Arkle on the back of that?
No chance. So Kalashnikov was 1-4 and Glenn Forza beat it the length of the straight.
Spare thought for them poor souls who backed Glenn Forza for the Close Brothers.
Yeah,
and now looks a pipe dream.
Well, he's definitely way higher than 145 anyway, so he's not going there. Again on Saturday in Ascot, one or two others to mention. Mr. Monarchy won the Reynoldstown, and Robbie Power, fair play to them, said Colin Tizzard afterwards, he says, I think you should go for the 4 miler, and obviously Robbie can't ride it. So that was a nice thing to tell him, but so he might end up there. In Haydock on Saturday, there was 4 good performances. Kel Destan won again. Yeah,
I was impressed by him now.
Yeah,
I think he'll finish second.
He could, definitely. Shades of Midnight won the Rendlesham Hurdle over 3 mile and paid a big compliment to Paisley Park and also your horse, first assignment, the horse you mentioned for the Pertemps.
Yeah, I did.
Because they ran against each other and then he won the Grade 2 the other day, so that's good. I don't know if you saw Liz Nagar Oscar win the 3 mile novice hurdle. Yeah, he was wicked impressive.
Second horse, a nice horse as well,
you also had Road to Rome, who's another Hunter Chaser. He won by 34 lengths. And sadly, Pasha de Polar was beaten 55 lengths, so that won't be winning, I'd say, this year at Cheltenham.
No, certainly not. Have you more?
Just 1 or 2 more is in Gorham Park on Saturday, Duke de Geneva got a solo. Daylight Kate, he's a lovely bumper horse. And to mention yesterday as well, Chris's Dream beat Champagne Classic, and Uccello Conti won the Hunter's Chase. Yeah,
we might come back to some of them later in the show. And Gavin, you've been keeping an eye on monitoring trainers' form over the last couple of weeks. And some interesting stats about trainers.
Well, just the big 5, I don't know if I'm right in saying that, but the big 5, Nicky Henderson, in his last 12 runners has 5 winners, that's good. Gordon Elliott had 5 winners over the weekend, including 4 yesterday, so he's bang on form. Joseph O'Brien ran 8 horses in Gorham Park on Saturday. He had 3 winners, 3 seconds, and the other 2 were third.
Wow.
So he's in good form. Paul Nichols had his best ever day with 8 winners on Saturday, so he's flying.
So who's left?
There's a fella.
Willie.
There's a fella from down the country in Ireland called Willie Mullins. Since the 29th of January, he's had 51 runners. He's only had 6 winners, and even to my basic maths, that's 12%. Now his average for the last 5 years, his average in Ireland for 5 years, which is a long time, his average is 30%. So I just will be a slight bit worried about the form of Willie's horses coming into Cheltenham. I hope it improves the next week or 2. It needs to.
Yeah, it certainly does. Gavin, now we started last week with your terrific stats for the Cheltenham Festival, and this week we're going to have your top 5 stats on handicap hurdles at the Cheltenham Festival. These are good. Yeah, we might do the handicap chases next week because we won't have as much to talk about. In the county hurdle, so the 2 miler on the Friday, the handicap hurdle. I know, but just so the county hurdle is.
We have to focus. My wife's a teacher, so I have to make people listen.
Don't treat me like your wife, Gavin.
No, but she treats me like
you're kissing me now. Go on.
That's what she'd say to me. That I listen. So 5 out of the last 6 winners in the county hurdle were 6 or less.
Does that mean that one of them wasn't 6 or less?
Yes. Well done. Willie and Dan Skelton had 2 winners each. In the Coral Cup, what you need to go is for the classy horse. 5 out of the last 6 winners carried 11-2 or more. So the better the horse, the better the chance in the Coral Cup.
We won't have 11-2, yeah.
In the Pertemps, it's similar to the county hurdle and also the Martin Pipe. 5 out of the last 6 winners were 6 or less in the Pertemps. So 3 of them were novices and the other 2 were second season novices. So stick to younger horses. The Fred Winter I'm going to talk about next. All 6 winners were 4-year-olds. That's a joke.
But a brutal one.
Yeah, 5 out of 6 winners in the Fred Winter were 25 to 1 or bigger. So
just throw a dart.
Yeah, throw a dart, because they all have maybe ran in 3 maidens or the one maiden hurdle or whatever. So that's too tricky.
My nap of the Cheltenham Festival 3 years ago or 2 years ago, I can't remember, was Mick Jazz off 123 in the Fred Winter. Imagine that. And he got injured.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Back when he was trained by Harry Fry.
The one handicap I think the punters have a really, really good chance of backing the winner of is the Martin Pipe.
Yeah.
If you gave me a choice of any of the handicaps to bet in this year, it would be that one. 5 out of the last 6 winners were 6 or less. All 6 winners had ran in a graded hurdle before they went and ran the Martin Pipe. 4 out of the 6 were novices, and the other 2 were second season novices. So go for a younger horse, a really good novice going into the Martin Pipe. That's the secret of that race.
Okay, Dallas, that's picked on as favourite at the moment. Obviously would have a good chance.
And another stat for you here, which is fairly scary.
6 now, yeah.
Sorry, this is just an overall stat. There has been 30 handicap hurdles ran in Cheltenham the last 6 years. How many winning favourites?
30 handicap hurdles?
Yeah.
How many winning favourites? I'll go 11.
1. And in the total handicaps in the last 6 years, because you have to allow for 3 cross countries that used to be a handicap for 3 years, there's been 63 handicaps and only 4 winning favourites.
Oh.
So just be careful.
Yeah, you have to think outside the box, Gavin.
Yep.
Think outside the box. Okay, so from our adoring fans, we've got some questions, Gavin. And the first one is from Dom McGrail, at Don MacG on Twitter. And he says, how the F did we, you and him, let Tiger Roll, our favourite horse, go off at 25 to 1 in the Boyne Hurdle at Navan on Saturday? Did you even have a sneaky fiver on it?
No,
Gavin?
nothing.
Pay for the kids' lunches, no?
No, nothing.
No.
25 to 1, it's hard
Did
to
you not
believe,
just,
isn't
would
it?
he not be a horse, did you just say, right? No matter where he's running, whether it's the Gold Cup, the Champion Hurdle, anything, just stick a 5 or 10 or
I actually could see him finishing the first 5 or 6 in the stairs hurdle. Could you? Like, he beat horses rated 150, so...
Well, that leads me on to our next question. Stephen Donnelly, at Stephen Donnelly on Twitter, says, would Tiger Roll have any chance of being lined up in the Gold Cup?
Maybe, you could see him finishing 6th or 7th. He could be in the first 5 or 6 in the stairs, so... He's just an amazing horse. To think that he won a Triumph Hurdle, 4 milers, cross countries, Grand Nationals, and he's only a small horse.
So you backed off you go in the Boyne Hurdle yesterday. Passing the winning post. How are you feeling? Are you happy for the horse because he's won you so much money in the past, or...?
I was happy because I backed him for Cheltenham, so it's not all bad.
It's not all bad, no. Okay, Paul Lancet at Sheep69. Nice Twitter handle there, Paul. He wants to know, is Al Dancer the full package for the Supreme? I'm still on the fence with him. I really fancy Elixir de Nuts at 12 to 1.
Al Dancer looked brilliant on Saturday. They're still getting to know the horse in terms of trying to get him to settle. If they go a quick gallop, I'd say Felix Deji will probably take them along on the Supreme. So the quicker they go, the better for Al Dancer. And the horse that he mentioned there, the form of his...
Elixir de Nuts,
Grand Sancy beat the older horses, So Royal and Vision to Flow. So his form was done the world good on Saturday.
Talworth at Sandown, absolutely. And finally, Paul Milner at Swadlad. He says, Sam Crow Stayers Hurdle. What chance would you give him if he turned up fit and well for the Stayers Hurdle, Gavin?
He's a brilliant horse, but this season has been a write-off. I couldn't have him.
For anything?
Not yet. I'd say he could go and win an RSA next year, but I don't think he'll run at Cheltenham, and if he does, I don't think he'll win.
Okay, well, I think he'll run at Cheltenham, and I think he'll win. So one of us will be right. There are our questions from the crowd, and now it's time to welcome Kane Calvin from our sponsors, RedZone.bet. And Kane, our first question to you is, who has been the best backed horse with RedZone in any of the handicaps at the Cheltenham Festival?
So with the handicap entries only being made this week and some horses' targets being less obvious than previous years, we haven't seen too much business on them just yet. 2 that we have seen money for are Give Me a Copper in the Ultimate and Dallas Des Pictons in the Martin Pipe, both presumably on the back of comments made by their trainers, but apart from them we haven't seen too much business.
That could have been helped by my colleague Paul Keeley across the water. His nap of the entire festival is Give Me a Copper in the Ultimate.
So there you go. Sandown the last, I think.
Yeah, terrific jumper. Our second question to you, Kane, we've got 3 this week. We're keeping you on your toes. Second question is, if Sam Crow does go for the Stayers Hurdle, Kane, would he possibly go off favourite? And if not, what price might he go off?
It would be hard to see Sam Crow going off favourite unless something happens with Paisley Park, but a lot will depend on the vibe surrounding Sam Crow. He'll probably only turn up if the stable are confident about his well-being, and that could lead to plenty of money on the day. There are a lot of factors that could affect Sam Crow's prices though, mainly what's in the race, but we'd expect him to go off somewhere between 3 and 5 to 1.
Okay, so between 3 and 5 to 1, Gavin. I know we're opposites here, right?
Yeah.
And I know opposites attract. That's what makes the show so good, okay?
Good, yeah.
But hold on a second here now, right?
Yeah.
Sam Crow is the best horse in the race, if he does go there. And he's only going to go if he's 100%. He's the best horse in the race. Would you not be advising people to take these big prices about Sam Crow now?
Sure, he hasn't been the best horse in the race this season.
Yeah, then that's a good point.
His last couple of runs were
point.
terrible.
Yeah.
And you don't know if he's fully fit or fully healthy, etc. He was a brilliant horse, but I'd sooner see him do it once. And there's not a chance he'd go off favourite.
Okay, and then what I'm going to say to you, if Apple's Jade, if they decided, I know she's going for the champion hurdle, but if they decided she was going for the stayers hurdle, she'd be favourite, right?
Yes.
She would be favourite.
She would.
And yet, you do a survey of 50 people in Gordon Elliott's stable, who's the better horse, Apple's Jade and Sam Crow? And most of them will say Sam Crow.
Yeah, but not this season, Dave.
Okay, are you keen to take on Presenting Percy, considering he has only run once this season over hurdles? He's generally 3 to 1 with bookmakers, but much bigger odds on the exchanges. So, Kane, are you keen to take on Presenting Percy?
So we have mixed opinions on Presenting Percy. We're not overly concerned by his prep. We've seen many times before horses come in and do well off light seasons. I mean, just last year, Native River had only won one free runner race before his Gold Cup victory. And you'd have to trust the trainer knows what he's doing with Presenting Percy. Also, the form of his RSA victory couldn't have worked out any better. Mona Lee, Elegant Escape and Album Photo all have won big races this season. But on the other hand, challengers have emerged like Clandis Oboe and Kenboy among others. So it'll be an interesting race.
What do you make of that, Gavin?
That's a load of bull. There's no doubt Presenting Percy will be bigger than 3 to 1 on the day. He's already 9 to 2 in the exchanges, so he'll be 4 to 1, 5 to 1 on the day. Definitely.
And Kane here
and he's a great chance, but he definitely, he shouldn't be 3 to 1.
Kane here is not one bit concerned about his prep. Are you concerned?
It's not ideal. It depends if he goes to the Bobby Joe or not. But to have one run over hurdles, I can't recall many Gold Cup winners doing that now.
No, certainly not. Okay, so now, Gavin, before we move on to this week's selection, our next selections, we've only 3 weeks left, so we've got to get a good portfolio going.
Yes.
We're going to have a look
at
our previous selections, and we are going to kick off with your selections. This is every single one of Gavin Lynch's anti-post tips for the Cheltenham Festival. So if anybody here watching has missed a couple of Upping The Ante episodes, you're going to get a sneak peek at what he's tipped so far. So it's cheating.
This is going back to November, isn't it?
It's going back to November. So
Yeah.
Gavin started off with his very first tip was Malone Road at 8 to 1.
Yeah, it's a pity. He'd be hot favourite, but anyway.
Now a non-runner. Later,
good
7
chance,
to 1,
yeah.
now 9 to 2. Happy?
Yeah,
Larichburg 28 to 1, now 11 to 1.
that's the JLT.
That was for the JLT.
Yeah,
But that was unlucky. That was a good shout.
okay.
Tiger Roll 9 to 2, now 6 to 5.
Yeah, she'll win.
Stairs Hurdle Penn Hill 8 to 1, now 11 to 2.
Good chance, but very, very worried about Paisley Park, obviously.
Gold Cup Road to Respect 18 to 1, now 12 to 1.
No, he won't be winning. I just thought he might win at Christmas and then, he'd be short. He needs good ground, but I don't see him winning, no.
Now out of them all, this was a shout. Honeysuckle 14 to 1, tipped up and up in the ante.
Yeah.
Now 130.
I think if anybody has bagged Honeysuckle at good prices, you definitely need to have a little saver. Ideally, non-runner, no bet, on the stablemate Sonoria, who I think is her biggest danger.
She's not as good as her, though, is she?
I think she's very good, but yeah, hopefully not.
Okay, Waiting Patiently 8 to 1, now 5 to 1. That 5 to 1 is not
No. He was too far beat, and he probably
Well,
won't
what
run.
happened was, Waiting Patiently was during your lull. You were lacking a bit of confidence and you just picking anything at all. So
Yeah. But they're saying now that it won't run again unless it got soft ground, so it probably won't run at Cheltenham, I'd say.
Okay, moving on, we've got a couple more. OK Corral, still 3 to 1 for National Hunt Chase.
Yeah, he's
Happy?
got a great chance. Yeah, Ballyward's form was done the world of good yesterday with those two in Navan, but I still think, OK, Corral, if he stays, should win.
Blue Sari, another good pick, 12 to 1, now 5 to 1.
Has a good chance, yeah.
Fakir Didari, you started this gamble.
Did I?
You started this gamble. Fakir Didari, 11 to 1 for the Supreme, now 5 to 1.
Yeah, it was just on the basis that same trainer that if Sir Eric, who looks a good thing for the Triumph, goes there, that they'll separate them. So I think Fakir Dudari getting the weight and the Supreme is a good chance, yeah.
We laughed at you with Sir Eric, 9 to 4. We said, what are you doing putting up 9 to 4 shots? He's now 6 to 4. He could go off odds on.
Yeah, he'll win. Won't he?
Yeah, I think so. Defi Desai, JLT 7 to 2 now. You tipped him up at 6 to 1.
Yeah, she's got a great chance. He just has to, it's going to be, you'll be watching through the back of your couch because Barry will have to hold on to him for the very last minute.
Well, yeah. And Benny's the do. You got terrific value on this, Gavin. You tipped it up at 2 to 1 a couple of weeks ago. Now it's 15 to 8.
Yeah, it's amazing. The only thing would worry me is the form of Willie's Yard, but I think she's definitely the best mare provided Apple's Jade and Arena go to the champion, which I'd say they will.
And very, very shrewdly, Delta Work, 4-1 you've
Yeah,
got.
I did. Yeah.
Wow.
That was a great
and now
price.
it's
Yeah.
130.
Yeah, I think that'll win. I think Santini's too short.
Okay, so
He's a
there
bit
are
slow.
Gavin's selections. Overall, I think I'll give you about a 7 out of 10 for these. We've got really good value here and there. Bit unlucky with Larichberg, but overall, I'd say you're pretty happy.
That's okay. Yeah, 7 out of 10. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to my list now, and obviously I've been trying a few Hail Marys, but some of them are working out reasonably well. Here's my list of selections so far. So last week, first assignment 25-1, now 11-1 for
shout,
the
yeah.
Pretemps final. Uradel in the Coral Cup 20-1, now 17-2. Not bad, Gavin.
Very good. Yeah.
Dunvegan 40-1,
He won't
now
be winning, no.
28-1. Well, he could be 280
It could be a million. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No
He
chance.
won't win. No.
Mr. Fisher 14-1 for
No.
the Supreme, now 11-1. Gavin, no, you've
No,
got.
he won't be winning, no.
Well, I'm going to change your mind.
No.
I'm going to change your mind. I'm
No.
telling you. By this time
A
next week.
Haydock winner. No.
By this time, what do you mean a Haydock winner?
He won't win the Supreme. No.
But sure, didn't Pedlar's Cross win it after winning? Won the Ballymore after winning the. Black Ops 16-1, now 14-1.
No.
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 Balco to Flow 14-1, now 11-1.
There should be another one in there.
Balco to Flow.
Yeah, he won't win. No.
Okay. Moving on swiftly. Delta Work
He'll win.
12-1, now 130.
Yep.
Yeah. Rhinestone for the Ballymore 33-1, now 16.
He'd have a squeak if he goes, but sure, you don't know where he's going to go, do we?
And Paloma Blue, which looked gone and throw away your docket, 18-1, now 16-1. But it looks like he's going to be one of very few runners in the race.
Yeah, I'd say there are only 6 or 7 maybe in the Arkle.
Okay, so what do you give my list out of 10?
Should we go with 7 to be nice?
7, okay. We'll
joint.
stay level pegging going into the
Yeah.
last 2 weeks. Okay, so now it's time for this week's anti-post selections to add to that.
Yes.
To those 2 brilliant lists. Okay, so Gavin, now it's time for this week's selections, the ones that we're going to add to that pretty good list.
Okay.
And mine is in the champion bumper. Now, I did a Cheltenham preview night with Gordon Elliott in the Cross Guns in Nobber on Sunday night. And a couple of interesting things come out of it. Very sweet. And Battle Over Diane and
Okay.
Vision Down Air. And he's got, so many favourites. But I thought it was very interesting that Envoy Allen definitely runs in the Cheltenham
Okay.
bumper. Right? Definitely runs. And Malone Road doesn't. And neither does Andy Dufresne. Okay?
Yeah.
So I went through the champion bumper race last night. And I said to myself, hold on here a second. This is a 2-horse race already. Between Envoy Allen and your selection, Blue Sari, okay?
Well, one of the reasons I picked Blue Sari was because at the time Gordon had said before Christmas that Envoy Allen probably wasn't going to Cheltenham, but he's changed his mind now, obviously.
He's changed his mind. The owners are very, very keen for him to go to Cheltenham. Now, I must say first, I don't think he's a champion bumper horse. I don't think he's a Cheltenham bumper horse. But I think his raw ability might get him home. Because he's 3 from 3. His form has worked out perfectly fine. Horses like Run Wild Fred have won since. Dial Care was unlucky in a maiden hurdle at Leopardstown. I just think when you go through the race and if you look at the top 20 in the betting, even here, Blue Sari 5-1, Envoy Allen, the enhanced price out to 11-2. Andy Dufresne doesn't run. Sempo had his limitations exposed, but then obviously looked good last time.
Yeah.
Mr. Debonair, I'm not sure about. Meticulous has already been beaten by Envoy Allen. While he's a very, very good horse, I think Envoy Allen has his measure. And you say to yourself, hold on a second, if that happens, all them horses come out on the day, you're going to have Blue Sari and Envoy Allen disputing favouritism, I think, at around 5-2. And I think Envoy Allen is a better horse. I think he's a proper horse. Jamie Codd loves him, Gordon loves him, I love him. What's not to like?
Yeah, the Cheltenham Hill will definitely suit him, and also if the ground ended up with a little bit of give would suit him, because the last day Leopardstown the ground was good, he was fine, but a bit of give would give him an even better chance.
Yeah, a bit of give would help. And I just think the way the race was run last time at Leopardstown, he had to make his move very early. He was in front for a long time. I don't think it suited. So my next selection, and it's actually my shortest price tip so far, is Envoy Allen for the Weatherby's champion bumper at 11-2 at redzone.bet. And Gavin, this is a Gordon Elliott. Love him because your selection is also trained by Gordon Elliott.
Yes. I'd say if me and you were a racehorse, this is who we'd be. Uccello Conti.
Altior. Oh.
No, Uccello Conti. We'd end up in the...
Okay, I'm looking forward to this now. Why are we Uccello Conti?
We're just steady and slow and stay forever. And he was not from 13 before...
Stay forever.
He was not from 13 when he joined Gordon, but he had been second in 2, Paddy Powers, second in the Thyest. He's off 137, 143, 145. So he's a good horse. He ran well last year in the Aintree Grand National. He unseated 4 out, but he still ran a quite a good race at the time. Since then, more recently, he's won a point to point. That's where we'd be in point to points. And he won 200 chases at Thurles and again at Navan yesterday. I think 7-1's a big price, and I could see him going off half that on the day, to be honest.
And what did you say to me earlier on yesterday? I said, did you have a good weekend? And you said Uccello Conti was...
I just thought that even money was a massive price yesterday.
Best even money shot of all time yesterday, and you were proved right.
Well, it was a weaker enough race, so I'm not getting carried away with the form. Road to Rome won by 34 lengths the other day. Hazel Hill has been very impressive in Warwick. Gil Gamboa, we haven't seen it. Shantou Flyer won the other day. I'd have a worry about Stand Up and Fight too, that it got beaten a point to point. I just don't think it'll stay 3 mile 2 personally.
And Uccello Conti obviously has no problems with the trip.
I think Uccello Conti will go off favourite and win.
So 6-1 at the moment, that's the enhancement.
7-1.
7-1 is the enhancement, sorry, with RedZone.bet. And you think that's 7-1, you think you could be even half that price, do you?
I do, yeah, I think it's a good price, yeah.
Okay. And the Fox Hunters, is it a race that you have a good or bad record in?
Good actually, with Salsify and horses like that. And one of the
On
things
the
to point out, on the fringe, is that the last 2 winners, 2 of the last 3 winners were 11. So even though Uccello Conti is 11, it's not a negative.
Okay, you've done your research, Gavin.
Yeah.
So Uccello Conti and Envoy Allen have been added to our list for next month's Cheltenham Festival. Gavin, tomorrow, it's only 3 weeks away. You must be getting super excited. Yeah,
no, it's going to be fantastic. Can't wait.
Yeah, can't wait. Don't forget to join us for week 13 of Upping The Ante next week, where Gavin's going to have his 5 super stats on the handicap chases at the Cheltenham Festival, and you're going to find out our next selections in the anti-post markets for the Cheltenham Festival. I've been David Jennings. He's been Gavin Lynch. Thanks for watching.
RedZone Sports.bet. Wham, bam, thank you, Uncle Sam.